Don't jump in the box. Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Effect Podcast video stream. We have just been discussing sport in Australia and the fact that in Victoria they have a public holiday for big football matches, which wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to hand over to Major Yelena.
Bershonkaya.
To Thomas, who is still our GM for this posting, but the GM post will rotate with every posting henceforth.
It shall. Oh, yes, and we've gone live. The phone says so. Okay, excellent. So when last we saw our intrepid heroes, they had uncovered a counter-revolutionary spy in the midst of their unit and had rightly reported them, even handing over the goods that they found that proved their counter-revolutionary behavior. So, Sergeant Valya was rightly noted as being the right-thinking kind of person for the unit at that point.
Excellent. I think I got a small reward in some silk underwear for myself and for Alyena.
There was a reasonable distribution of silken underwear to the crew in regards. I think that was an active reallocation of the wealth of the bourgeois.
Yeah.
That's how it was. That's how it was interpreted. I think
that's how we're going to go with it. Good.
Yeah. And then Zaika led the unit in a highly effective bombing run against a actual German emplacement this time, as opposed to one of your own. And in the landing, in the bombing, absolute perfection. I believe, as I recall, spot on target. As you flew away, you saw the entire base light up in flame. Unfortunately, it also lit you up, but side effects. And when you landed your plane, having had to do emergency repairs on the engine through the day to get it flying, unfortunately, the engine of the day decided not to continue flying once you were heading towards the ground. Leaving you once again with a broken aeroplane. The good news is it's been 2 months since those days. So you now have new planes that are not damaged, unless you, of course, wanted to carry forth your famously lucky 113.
Well, what do you think, Alyena? I mean, our plane hasn't let us down. We look after our plane.
Yeah, I think 113. She's doing good.
Yeah.
So you picked the 113. What about yourself? Oh, sorry. Go, Sergeant Valya.
What I was going to say was that we like to save the state's resources in these matters.
Nice.
We are. There's no need. There's no need to wastefully use fresh planes on our perfect flying.
So you bought
I
the
believe
plane
our
with you?
section leader Zaika may need a new plane though.
Yeah, I think the PO2 is one of the most produced warplanes of all time. So I understand why.
Because they keep on falling out of the sky and needing replacements. Is that the inference that you're making? So important question, Zaika. Junior Lieutenant Zaika. What is the number of your new plane?
How about 43?
Okay. So your plane is number 43. And Sergeant Valya and Alyena's plane is 113. Okay, so it's 2 months on. It's now the middle of the year. And I've got to get my head out. I keep on having to remember that makes it summer. So it is summer on the steppes which of course makes it stupid hot. However, it's good for flying. The weather is perfect for flying. You can see where you're going. There's not winter. There's not stupid amounts of rain on the runway. However, the Germans have success, having been beaten back from Moscow in their attempt to take the city. You now find them once again preparing for a massive assault, pushing forth through the Caucasus towards Stalingrad. Your flight has now found itself parked at duty station 2. I shouldn't have read that bit, sorry. Trod Gornyaka, which is just north of the Azov Sea near the Don River. So, the introduction reads, the summer weather is good for flying and the fascist scum have not quite learned how to counter harassment bombing. The biggest danger comes from your inexperienced crews and your own primitive airfield, which is made of split logs and mud. Hay bales line the runway and are set fire to guide damaged planes home. Oops. Circumstances are not ideal.
So Zaika's not going to burn another plane by catching it on one of those.
I'm the one who botched the repairs, so don't blame Zaika.
Okay, so there are birch forests, marshes, and agricultural land around you. There's a major southeast northwest rail line running from Donetsk through Luhansk through to Stabilisk, and it's both a key strategic feature because it's a key resupply, but it's also cut through the ground like a straight line to the airfield. So it's a key navigational reference. The Donetsk River is just north of where you are, so that also helps navigate. And there also are the Bryanka coal mines and long fire breaks that are made through the forests. Note, and I make this note recognizing that this may not be helpful knowledge, skilled pilots can put the PO2 down in one of the fire breaks in an emergency. They are wide enough to take a landing.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, so we have a round of questions to kick off our new arrival. So the first question is, and I'll ask it I think it'll be asked of Zaika. Which officer of the 588th was in no condition to fly when the regiment arrived at Trod Gornyaka? So officer meaning you can choose like the regimental commander, the chief of staff, the politruks, so they're the political officers, the chief armourer / engineer. You can choose one of the flight leaders from one of the other sections. Up to you. Oh, you're on mute.
The politruks, maybe?
So the politruks were in no condition to fly, both of them.
Just one of them. The head
just
politruk.
One. The regimental politruk.
Yep.
Alyena Politskaya. I did have a bit of I obviously liked Politskaya last night when I was writing out names. Why was Alyena Politskaya not able to fly?
Maybe she was. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a good reason.
What was the reason?
She has to rest because she has looked too deep in the glass or the bottle.
Oh, she might have exceeded her 100 mils of vodka allowance for the day.
Yep.
Okay, so potentially, and do you think so? Is that a secret only you know, or is it a rumor floating around the entire regiment?
It's more of a rumor, actually.
It's a rumor around the entire regiment. Okay. Alyena, Anusha, what is being done to keep livestock off the runway, and why isn't it working?
We try to show them. We try to get them to the barn, but I'm trying to the best of my knowledge in farming. I am good. I was in a farm, so I'm reducing now the livestock in the farm in the runway. So don't worry.
Okay. So you've taken personal responsibility for controlling the livestock's movement onto the runway.
Yeah.
Okay. So Alyena, you are now known as Alyena Anusha, sheep herder, Omarava.
Okay.
Been
Cold Wars. So
yep, you probably have. So what explicitly have you done to control the out of control sheep that sort of run across the runway at all times, day and night?
Yeah, the camp dog. I try to use him to
okay.
Yeah.
Get a bit of sheep herding going with the dog.
Yeah, he's not very experienced now. He's his first,
So,
as we are. So as we are aviator, he's a new sheep herder. So we are learning here.
Okay, so all right. So the dog that you've got, the camp dog, and look, this is moving history around a bit, but it's hilarious, and therefore we have to do it. This dog, when commanded, runs under vehicles and sits under them like this for a couple of minutes. And then when nothing happens, it lifts itself up and comes out from under the vehicle. You have no idea why that is. You've been given the dog, though, because whatever program it was originally belonged to has since been cancelled. You know what it is, don't you, Alyena?
I do. I love it so much. It's such a...
All right.
It's one of the best
that'll be an in-joke for another day. All right, so you've got this dog. What's the name of the dog?
Kabushka.
Kabushka. Wow, now I've got now I've got Wuthering Heights in my head. Kabushka. Anyway, all right. Alyena. Who gave the German Focke-Wulf 190 pilot, seemingly obsessed with your regiment, the nickname Yellowtail?
Oh, who did that? I think that it was probably Valya. Yeah, I think she's very cool. She's very, she's making it a little bit more fun to be here.
It's a little bit more fun to be hunted by a Focke-Wulf 190 pilot.
Yeah, she's doing her part.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Valya, what do the rye fields used as the airbase look like? And where is the runway in comparison to, the actual village?
Oh, sorry, you're asking me.
Yes.
Say that question again.
That's all right.
Where is the airfield in relation to the village? So the village is called Trod Gornyaka as well. The airfield is off to one side of the village. And what is the one place that is not currently drenched in mud?
Right. So this is the reason for the problem with the sheep is we are in the nearest sheep pasture to the village.
Right.
That's where the sheep habitually go, particularly for where they were this very spring, in fact, for their for the lambing season. So you've got all these sheep and young lambs who've really only ever known this field as home until it became an airfield, which is why Alyenna's dealing with this problem. What's the one place that isn't drenched in mud, in the village or in the airfield?
Where's the one place you find solace from the mud? It's completely up to you what that place is.
Oh, right. I think there is a very nice church here. Obviously, I know religion is the opiate of the masses, but it's a beautiful church. It's the most beautiful building in the whole village, and it has a wonderful, onion-topped tower. It was the pride of the village before we arrived. Of course, now that we're here, we are the pride of the village.
Of course.
Defending Mother Russia from the Nazis.
Okay. Of course, churches have been allowed to reopen and hold religious ceremonies as
really?
part of as part of Comrade Stalin's orders to the people to defend the motherland. So priests have been allowed to practice more openly, and the church is probably active. So it probably actually has a priest.
Excellent.
Who hates you?
And
I
don't know. Does anybody know the Eastern tradition? Does it have stuff like confession?
No, I don't think it does actually.
No.
No.
Based on what I remember in Coptic, I guess there is no confessions. Maybe I don't know.
Right. Fine.
Yeah.
I just had a scene there, but we can take that out of Mother Russia. Capitalist practices like confession and absolution are not a thing that we consider. Even
if you've got something you need to confess,
not that I do.
mean, that's what the politrooks are for. They're more than happy to help you confess. Some sort of concern that you might have.
No,
can we help you with
I
that?
have no concerns. Just
okay. So it's the first day of your arrival at Gornyaka. A couple of things for you to be aware of. So the Russian army at this point is losing badly. Let's be really transparent about this. That's not the public message, of course.
I was going to say, should the commissars have a word with you?
Yes, that's right. Yes, they probably should. So you've been hurled into the fray with little or no planning in a desperate attempt to, slow the German advance. And in particular, Operation Blue, which is about to kick off by the Germans, which will take them almost all the way to Stalingrad. And you should know, by the way, the Germans and Stalingrad are in all the wrong places. So Germans here, Stalingrad here, you about
in the middle
there. Okay, so what that means is because you've been hurled to the front with little or no planning, some of the pilots don't even know where you are. You lost a few pilots literally because they don't know where your airfield is. The supply situation is not fantastic. So all supply rolls are going to take a -1 for the duration of your stay in Gornyaka. So that's scrounge and repair, I should say, when I say supply. Scrounge and repair rolls are at -1. Okay, so it's the first morning. The sheep are once again on the airfield. The planes are in the corner. You have a new commanding officer, Major Alyena. So Marina Roskova has moved across to the bomber unit. Anyway, the other fighter, I think it's the fighter. We'll put her in the fighter unit. I can't actually remember. The Yak unit, the 586th, I think, Air Regiment, and is no longer with you. So you've been assigned Major Alyena Bereshenkaya as your commanding officer. In case you're interested, Obviously, Alyena Politskaya is your regimental politruk. Polina Gelman is your deputy politruk. And just to add some flavour to the world, you also now know that. Hold on, what's that? We'll give them a name. I'll go to the handout, and I think it's at the bottom here. Yep, it is. What are we going to call them? Svetlana Bobkova. Svetlana Bobkova is the chief armourer. So she's in charge of all of repair and a lot of supply for all of the air crews. So it's a cold, sorry, it's not a cold morning. It's a warm morning. It's a warm and somewhat sunny and dusty morning across the airfield. The sheep run free, feeding on the grass in the middle of the airfield. Kabushka, the camp dog, is being assumedly yelled at by Aliyah to try and drive the sheep off the airfield to the same effect that you've had. It's not helped by the fact that Kabushka continues to run under the major's car and hide underneath it for minutes at a time whenever it's given the command go. You haven't quite been able to work out why the command go makes the dog run underneath the car, but it does. And you have beautiful planes. You have number 43 and number 113. What were you've also got two additional pilot navigators in your flight. We did have names for them last week. Unfortunately, however, I haven't written that down. So I'm going to quickly give them names. Oh, you've got them. Of course you've got them.
Hang on, I'm just checking if I do. Captain Marina, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
No,
it's Anna and Oksana.
Okay.
All right. So it's Anna and Oksana, two recent recruits who have gone through the training school along with yourselves and are the last two members of your flight. So there's a few things going on. What would you like to do? You're looking out on the field.
Need to call up
this one, yes. So one thing to remember is the politruk, particularly the deputy politruk and morale officer, Polina Gelman, Zaika, has her eye on you because, as you may recall, you did draw the attraction of the local NKVD folk. There's a suspicion that you are not appropriately protective of the equipment of the army and, importantly, of the state of the socialist republics. So she's been floating around a bit. It's breakfast. You're all having breakfast. What would you like to do? Tonight is going to be your first mission. So you may want to do a few things to sort of make sure you're ready.
Well, we have to find a solution to the sheep problem, I think.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you know that the sheep appear on the field pretty much every day. The villagers would assumedly be the owners of the sheep. So perhaps Kabushka may not be the best solution to the sheep on the field.
Is there any kind of pens we can shut them in? Or maybe repair?
You could get the pens repaired.
Yeah.
That's definitely an option. You could, actually build them yourselves or repair them yourselves. There are definitely, there are definitely sheep pens where the sheep are herded at various times. They do seem to escape quite freely.
Well, I try to fetch as many people I can, and we'll make an effort to repair the pens.
Okay, so it's the morning. You're going to go to who to get these people? Is it just your flight, or are you going to try and persuade other members of the regiment to join you in we've really got to repair the pens, the sheep problem is out of control?
My flight, I can command, so I do that, and then I go around and ask others for help too.
Okay, so I think that's going to be a reach out to try and get assistance from the other members. Are you going straight? Are you actually going to the Politruk or the regimental commander or the chief of staff?
No, I don't like the Politruk, so I just go and talk to friends and colleagues.
Oh, okay. So you're reaching out as colleagues rather than trying to get a regimental commander to order that this should happen. Okay.
It should be in everyone's interest to not land on two sheeps when we go back or something like that.
Okay. So are you also going to talk to the armourers, or are you just talking to the other flights?
Yeah, armourers too. They are strong and can hammer down.
They do have hammers, and they do work with wood every day.
Yeah.
Mostly your planes, but wood all the same. Okay. So the deputy armourer, who's your rank, is Yevhenga Radneva. So you could talk to her, and then there are a couple of other, flight commanders. So there's the other two active flights. Remembering you've got a fourth flight that is like a sort of full of the planes that you're not currently using. Okay, so are you getting any assistance from your colleagues, or are you just going out and doing the talking yourself?
Oh, those who wish can come with me, and
I'm coming with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Can I get a reach out move, please? So you're going out to try and persuade these people. I think we can deal with that basically in one reach out. So
a 3.
A 3. Okay. So you're trying to persuade all these people to help you. The armourers are insulted that you think they're the sort of people who would repair, the village's, sheep pens. Yevhenga, and takes it directly to Svetlana as a complaint. Once again, the pilots don't respect us. They think we're just, that we're just goddamn woodworkers with hammers. They don't understand how hard it is to maintain these machines. And you're called into Svetlana, the armourer's office, and tent. Zaika, or Junior Lieutenant Zaika. I am insulted. My people are insulted. Don't you understand? We're busy putting the planes together for the first mission. How can these sheep be such a problem? I want you to go to the village and get the villagers to sort it out. They should be the ones to repair this stuff, not me, not us. I'm insulted.
I give some pushback there, I think, and we
All right.
I'm
So
so
you're-
glad I'm not with you on
Yes.
this.
Okay, so you are acting up.
Yeah.
You're pushing back. You're saying, "Hold on a second." So,
Yeah.
in what way are you acting up? Are you sort of standing on your high horse, as it were? You know, sort of saying, "I'm a pilot."
Not really. I tell them that we need good people who can really make stuff work, and not the villagers who can't. They keep the pens deteriorate. We can't use them. They are no good at repairing things. We need good people to repair things, and we will help. But we need it done. We can't just let it be.
Okay, so I think that sounds like you're acting like a lady, actually, because you're not. Well, convince me otherwise, right? Like, it sounds like you're actually trying to appeal to their better nature. So you're not you're not having a go at them. You're not sort of yelling at them or pushing back as a pilot. I'm more important than you. So my feel of it is that you're acting like a lady. But if you want to maybe reflect on that for a second and maybe push in a different direction, I'm happy for you to do so. I'm
trying to reason with them. If they don't listen, then I get angry and yell at them.
Okay. Okay. Make a acting like a lady roll.
11.
Oh. Did you add the guts?
No guts. So
Okay.
12 then.
You got 12.
Yeah.
Double 6.
No.
Okay.
11 and plus 1 guts.
Okay. So you so she's taken aback, but you call out to her fundamental nature, and we're all part of the same unit, we're all working together, reaches deep into her heart, and she realizes, struck in the moment, how important it is that you're right. We've all got to pull together. This is not great. This is not a great condition, but if we fall apart now, then we're doomed. And she rounds up all of the engineers and puts them under your command, and sends them with you to repair the pens that very day. So there's a scene of you, your own flight, the engineers working on the pens, singing comradely songs, I think. It's pretty much as good as it could be. I think that will give you a +1
Well,
to
you've
your...
got a choice. So +1 to the mission pool. Or,
yes, sorry,
of
I'm
course,
reading it now.
Zaika can ensure that there are no consequences for acting up.
That's correct.
Which,
You
given
get two
that
choices. You get
Yes,
two, because
well-
didn't John roll a 12?
he rolled a 12, so choose 2. But I'm just saying, the first one is surely make someone do what you want, which you've just described.
Ah, true, yes. And then
Yeah?
you've got one other.
And then you've
Ensure
got
there are
one of
no
those other two
consequences,
to
or add 1 to the mission pool. What do you want?
Muted.
I think no consequences for acting up.
Okay.
For the rest of the duty station, or
The repair of the pens. Oh no, it's for the next mission, not for the whole duty station.
okay, good.
But still, that should keep the NKVD off your back.
Yeah, exactly. And I also sneer a bit to when I passes the Vengaya, who reported me to her superior.
Yeah, absolutely. And she is furious to be out there on the field, having been ordered to do this, but she basically has no avenue to raise her complaint because, as we've already identified, Svetlana is taken, by the very solid, we've got to work together as a team argument that you've put forward. So, Anusha, are you fully participating in the repair of the pens?
Yeah. Also
Okay.
checking, but getting the priority to the plane, making sure the plane is okay, and of course participating in building the fence and the pens.
Okay, and that might be why you don't get the +1 to the mission pool, because you have taken all the engineers who would normally be, getting the planes ready for the flight that night and put them on pen duty. So there is a bit of concern. I mean, because it's been ordered by Svetlana, and the only person who could there's only two people who could overrule her, which is Alyena or the chief of staff for Alyena, who is Anna, for the sake of this conversation. They aren't overruling us, so that's fine. So Anusha, you're checking the plane as well. Would you like to make a it's not torn up or damaged. So actually you don't. Yeah, it's fine. It's first day. Plane's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm checking if there is anything that can be adjusted or being fixed, nothing tampered with.
Oh, okay. You want to make sure that the engineers have done a good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not doubting our fellow comrades, of course, but double
Of course.
checking is also.
Of course. Can I get you to make a what's the term? Eyeball roll, please.
Eyeball.
Yep, plus your skill.
Okay, I have a scale of 2, so 10.
Okay, so you get hold 2. So basically, you've looked at the plane. So the sort of questions you can use the holds to give you that +1 forward when you act on the information you've collected. So the questions are: how can I help? What am I overlooking? What could I get? Or how could I get? So one obvious option is you could look for sorry, I just saw the comment. You could get, better equipment. You could make sure there's extra food. Are you looking to basically up the ante on the repairs of the, to improve the plane? So they're effectively straight. Yours is straight out of the blocks, number 43.
Yeah, just to make sure that the landing gear will be good. Nothing problem with our landing gear. Maybe give us more edge in it.
Nice.
And and make it more silent and more the propellers not when we
Okay. So you've checked out the plane. It looks fine. You've done all the right things, and it's feeling good. Alyena, what are you doing on this fine day of solid labor for the proletariat?
Yeah. So first off, I'm making sure that our sandbag is refilled and stocked in our plane. A bag of sand that I've got in there from last time.
Nice.
I remember that. Sand's good, puts out fires.
Well remembered.
Nice.
Yep. And then I'm not really getting involved in the sheep pen building.
You have been ordered by your commanding officer to repair the sheep pens. So I'm interested to know, what are you doing to avoid being involved in the sheep pen repair?
I'm doing very important work preparing for tonight's mission.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing some
And
very
what form
important
is that work taking?
Yeah, look, here's the thing. All these engineers are now out working on the sheep pens. So I
Yep.
need to be in here making sure all the planes are up to scratch ready for tonight. So
Okay.
don't worry, I've got that handled. I'm going to be in here going over all the planes.
Okay, so are you actually going over all the planes?
I mean, I'm looking at the planes. I like planes.
But are you doing anything about repairing the planes? Or
Yeah,
are
they're
you
fine.
literally sitting on a chair looking at the planes?
Yeah, I'm sitting
Maybe
on a chair
standing
looking
up
at
every
the
now and then
planes.
when someone walks
Yeah,
in.
I like look at the planes very intensely whenever someone comes near. I'm like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Valya and
yeah.
Alyena are like peas in a pod at some level. Really deep down inside, there's a deep connection there. Okay, so can I get you to make a act up roll, please?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you are absolutely rejecting, and I think that's hooligan. I don't think
Yep.
there's any debate that that is hooligan.
Perfect. Let me roll my luck. Yes. Let's see. Dice. These 2 dice. I'm trusting you with my life. So please do well for me. You didn't even land on the mat. Jesus, Inanna. No. Okay, there we go. That's a 5 + 1, which is 6.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're in the thing. I should ask, by the way, actually, just before I play this out, Sergeant Valya, are
Yes.
you out there repairing the pens, doing all the
Well,
pen work?
Now, this is very important work. I will say that. I mean, this is vital work, and I entirely agree with my section leader, Zaika, when she says that we are in the army servants of the people, and also we are more highly trained and better skilled than the people of this village. So obviously, it's very important work, and the whole. Everybody does important work in different things. So I'm not necessarily, digging holes for posts with a post holder or attaching barbed wire with a hammer. But somebody's got to be in the stores making sure that the relevant bales of barbed wire are handed out and the like, and potentially seeing what else there is in there. Times are tough. The proper allocation of our resources is of vital concern to me, particularly to make sure that 113 has everything it needs to fly properly.
Okay, so you have placed yourself in the supply tents.
In the supply chain, yes. In the tent, yes, and I would possibly be doing some scrounging while I'm there.
But you're also handing out things to people when they turn up.
Yes, requisitioning the relevant
nails, that sort of thing.
Those little staples that you bang into the fence post.
Nice.
Those don't grow on trees,
They do not.
No. But I am obviously doing this for Zaika and for the good of the squadron as a whole.
Wink, wink.
You don't know where. So you see Alyena, because the planes are actually out on the field, right? Like they're not undercover or anything. They're not in a
she's
hangar.
not in a hangar or anything. She's just wandering
like
around the plane.
Yeah, so you see Alyena wandering around the planes. Because you're quite hidden, every now and then you just see Alyena just kind of lay on the ground underneath one of the wings, look up at the plane. Like, you can also see Anusha at the far end of the flights with the new number 43, and they run backwards and forwards from the pen to the plane, sort of doing things on the plane, then run back to the pen, do things at the pen. They seem very busy. Alyena, however, seems, somewhat relaxed. As you do that, you see Paulina Gelman, the morale officer, moving across the field in the general direction of Alyena. She's definitely noticed Alyena's, sort of desultory behavior and is moving at speed and with purpose in the direction of Alyena.
Right. Very well. I will not make my scrounge roll here. I will leave everything in the stores that isn't requisitioned for the fencing.
Nice.
I'm gonna rush out and reach out to Polina, and try and catch her before she reaches Alyena, and say, and I'm going to say, forgive Alyena. It is not her fault that we are recruiting girls so young.
Okay.
You know, maybe the recruiters in the village shouldn't have picked one who's only 15 to be decided last. I am stealing your future, Alyena.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a reach out roll.
So to
It's just straight
hold on,
2d6.
Let's call that up and give me a moment. I'll just arrange that a bit better for our viewers. So reaching out.
Yep.
Although
you've also got your move that you're making.
Yes.
But we'll do that in a sec.
Do the reaching out first. Oh no! Yep. What do I add to reach out? Well, nothing at all.
Nothing.
I get 3.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
This may have been a miscalculation on my part.
This may have been a miscalculation on this part. So she looks at you. Oh, by the way, what's the move that you're making? Steal the future. What does it do?
Sorry, yeah. Hold on, that's on my character sheet, which is on this screen here. So the move I'm making is Voron Fieth in Russian. When I steal a treasured possession from someone, they are marked. If the treasured possession is their lover or their future, I advance.
Ooh. Okay, well, they're marked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so that's going to play out
irrespective of what happens. Okay, very well.
No, that's definitely you've told the Politruk that there's a 15-year-old girl flying planes, and she's been lying about it, and she's lying under the planes right now. So you will get an advance. However, you also bring down the wrath of Polina on you. So she turns to you as you say this, and at the top of her voice, in the most strident of tones, she yells at you. What do you mean she's only 15? Is this knowledge that you have had for some time? I think we would like to know more about why you felt it necessary to conceal this information from the appropriate authorities. Now, Alyena, you can hear this being shouted across the field, and you see your deep friend, remember the person you had such regard for, has obviously just sold you down the river to Polina.
Oh my God. Oh, she betrayed me.
Right there in public.
Oh no. Oh my God. I trusted her so much. She was like family.
You feel your heart breaking.
Yeah.
As that regard slide gets flipped. And now ask yourself this question, Alyena. Can you trust Valya in the same plane as you?
Never again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, straight to the heart. Okay.
Well, he's going to need a new pilot after all. So.
And possibly a new navigator at the rate this is going. Okay, so Polina is upbraiding you. She's angry. She's furious. Sergeant Valya, you are meant to be, you helped us out last time with that counter-revolutionary. However, this kind of behaviour will be noted, and we will remember this. You get one chance because of your behaviour last time, but that's it. That shit has been paid up. Oh, sorry, Zaika. Yes, sorry.
I come rushing and try to calm things down. And she's a very good pilot. We need her. She's exceptional.
Navigator.
Alyena.
Yeah. So Zaika,
it's like it's talking about me.
You've seen Deputy Politruk Polyena yelling at Sergeant Valya in the middle of the field. You've turned and you've raced across to intervene because you've recognised that having the Politruk yell at you is never 2 thumbs up material. You see this all happening. What are you doing? So Polyena is screaming at Valya about something. You were over there hammering on nails and, sticking, it probably isn't wire. It's probably rope that you've retrieved from the planes because you've got rope to, obviously manage all the control of the planes and other things. You see this going down. You've raced across and you're thrusting yourself between the Politruk and Sergeant Valya.
Okay, what's going on here?
She turns to you. This is Polyena. She turns to you. She looks you straight in the eye with that gaze that NKVD officers are obviously, practice in the mirror every morning before they get up. This your sergeant has been flying with an underage child. And she knew.
We're in a war right now, so we don't have time to think and report everything. We do our work, and that's good enough. They're excellent pilots and excellent navigators, and we need them, both of them.
Okay.
I'm acting up. No consequences.
Okay, acting up, no consequences. Okay, you're actually kind of acting like a natural-born Soviet airwoman, which means you don't get luck or guts, you just roll.
I roll 7.
Okay, you can choose one. Which is you want it to be there's no consequences.
Oh, no, it's they do what they want.
You can make them do what you want, but there will be consequences.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're taking the heat.
Yep.
All right. She goes, "You're correct. This has been noted along with your other behaviors. Expect us to talk tomorrow." And she walks off.
Yes, comrade, I say. Although I'm feeling that the NKVD officers, Polina's, that's her name. Polina's ire has luckily been swapped from me to Zaika. But I'm saying as little. I'm just being obedient and
know when to keep your head down.
Acting like I've been, yeah.
So this is all played out before you get to go anywhere. Alyena, what did you take as your mark?
I'm going to spread a vicious rumor.
Oh, it's on. Okay, Alyena.
Because you know what? Valya, this was a shared secret sharing that we had between the two of us. I told you that I was.
Have I got any chance to talk to her and try and convince her that I was merely protecting her because she was about to be caught shirking her duties? Because if we have any chance in the barracks before you start spreading this rumor, I will come to you and I'll say, I only said it out of concern for you because I could see her marching towards you. And I thought I'd turn her ire against myself rather than you. But it was the first thing that came to my head. And you did look so young, lying there, shaded by the wing of the plane, looking up so wistfully. I could see the love you have for the sky in your heart as you lay there. But I fear Polina would not have seen it that way.
Okay. You can't. They are trying to convince you to change what you mark, but it's completely up to you whether you believe them.
My regard's already been changed. It's been flipped like this. I've now got my regard written as I hate Valya. So
You
Okay,
hate
so-
Valya the most.
yeah.
So my only question is, are you pretending to listen to Valya?
Yeah, sure. Of course. I'm a teenager. I'm very good at,
Pretending to
nodding.
being, at nodding and, being like, oh yeah, of course. Anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not swayed by this argument, and
No.
you then go forth to spread this vicious rumor. What was the explicit rumor you're spreading?
Yeah, so Valya stole credentials to get into this unit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
What's wrong
spreading
with
a
them?
rumor that she's not who she really is.
Yeah.
Okay,
spreading
but
the
you're
rumor.
spreading
She
it
is-
as a rumor because you're not going to
I'm-
go straight to.
Yeah,
the
no,
politic
I'm not
with
going to
this.
go straight to the politic, but I am going to spread it as a vicious rumor among all the other members of the unit.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll play that out tomorrow. Okay. So the unit has probably fallen apart a bit in the last little while. It is, however,
All
It is,
this
however,
because of
now-
sheeps.
all of this because of sheep.
Of sheep.
Who knew sheep could lead to this kind of level of distress?
Maybe not seeing the skies.
That's why you stay in the air, because on the ground, this is what goes down. Okay, so it is the it's the start of the night run.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're all called in to work together, but you're also called in to select your mission. So Matt, I think I can share, can't I?
Yes,
How
you
do I
can.
Oh, that's
So
how I
you
share.
just
I'll
click the share button at the bottom.
and I share screen, don't I?
Yeah.
This
I
is
can
the
share a
end of the
window.
night witches. Stay tuned.
That's right. Okay, so these are the missions that you have as choices. Now it's Zaika's decision as to which mission you take. So you can harass German positions near Zeramzitovi Zavod Rail Junction. You can bomb a German supply depot near the front lines. You can attack that one. Let's leave that one for later. You can bomb the Kimenskaya fuel dump and rail yard at the Black Sea. You can bomb the heavily defended village of Taman behind the Blue Line, or you can conduct a daylight supply drop on Malaya Zemlya beachhead near Novorossky, held by the naval infantry. So these are your choices. Which one would you like to do?
The fuel dump sounds exciting.
The fuel dump does sound exciting, and you do have experience in blowing up fuel dumps.
Exactly. And fire.
And fire, exactly.
Yeah. So we'll go with that.
Okay. So you're all called together. It's nighttime. I will just remind Anusha, you've got those 2 holds.
Okay.
So don't forget them.
Yeah, during the mission. Okay.
Yeah.
2 holes.
So 2.
Oh, right. Yeah.
However, you have no mission pool. Because everything you did today did not contribute to the mission pool. Matter of fact, I could argue you actually took away from the mission pool, but they don't actually allow you to have a negative mission
So,
pool.
how hold fill up in the mission itself?
Sorry?
How hold in the mission itself? Is it the same as the pool, or
Well,
Well,
only
it's-
you can
you-
use them.
Only you can use it.
okay, only me? Okay, it's not distributed. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can ask questions like, how can I help? What did I bring? That sort of thing, and get a +1 forward for a roll.
Okay.
Okay. So now, Zaika, I guess the big question is, are you splitting up Valya and Alyena after the debacle of the day?
How much do I know about their conflict? I
Well, you
sense-
were there.
Yeah.
You at least saw the tail end of it. And you've now heard rumours that maybe Sergeant Valya is not all she seems, but right now you don't have time to sort of deal with that. So you do have the other 2 pilots, Anna and Oksana, because you have the other 2 members of the flight. So you can split them up and put them in different planes.
I asked them what they want to do. Do you want to
Yeah.
split up or work together?
Oh, well, who are you asking?
Asking them both.
Who are you asking
At the
first?
same time.
What at the
Yep.
same time?
All right.
I will put my hand around Alyena and say, I bear Alyena no ill will. I was simply trying to protect her from the wrath of Polina. I said the wrong thing. I've apologized to her already.
Good.
Obviously,
Of course.
we're a top team.
Yeah,
Perfect.
of course. We're still good.
Good. Perfect.
Okay, so you 2 are in the same plane.
I'm satisfied.
Wow, I'm looking forward to the consequence roll and seeing where the harm gets distributed. Anyway, all right, so it's the nighttime run. Zaika has selected the Kiminskaya. So you fly, obviously, every night you fly a number of runs. However, you're flying the Kryamskaya fuel dump and rail yard near Novorossiysk on the Black Sea. It's a low-altitude attack. A low-altitude attack on this target is suicidal, so precision will be required. Okay. Hold on. Is that the one we...
Yep, that is the one. That's the one we did with the other Night Witches game.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Yes, that's why
Yes.
I'm remembering it. It's the one we did
Yeah.
for the one with the other group. Oh, God. Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, my brain was going, hold on, I've read this out before. Okay, good. Okay, so you're flying in. So Zaika, who are the wayfinders? Who's the attack lead, and who are the Vermanyaya, the wing beagle?
I will do the attack.
Okay, so you're being the attack. You're doing the attack.
Yep.
I'll wayfind as usual.
Yep. And
Okay.
And then we have
Anna and Oksana.
Anna and Oksana act as
the Vermadiah, the
Exactly.
Vermadiah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, there's nothing special about it, so we can go back to that. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So as we know, you've done the briefing. The fuel dump, you have to hit it. You can't go low. You have to go high, and you have to precision bomb. So, wayfinding roll from Valya, please.
And this is with +1 luck because that's my thing. And that's 8 + 1 is 9.
All right. I think that's actually pretty good.
It's a hit with 2 consequences. Oh, hang on. Yeah.
No.
No. It's
You find it and choose one consequence.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, you suffer minor mechanical failure. They're waiting for you, which triggers enemy fire. You get stressed or banged up. You split 2 harm.
I feel that we're going to get stressed, aren't we? You're sniping at me because you're a bloody teenager,
Yep.
and I'm acting like your mother because I know I'm right.
All right,
It
so
was
each of
obviously for
you.
the best. So what's the stress consequence?
So that just means you each take 1 harm.
Right. Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
You're stressed or banged around. Split
I'm
2 harm,
assuming
however
since
you
2
want.
months has passed since I last took 1 harm.
Oh yeah, that's all wiped away.
Yeah.
Yep, you've got clean sheet. Yeah.
So stress or minor injury. That's
Yeah.
what we've got.
Just fly the direction I'm telling you. Don't keep second guessing me, Alyena.
All right.
Scolding tone now that I have practiced on my own teenage daughter, who is in her 20s because I lie about everything.
So as you come in, you find the fuel dump. It's before you and below you. Zaika, you are the lead attack plane. This is a high-level bombing run, not your usual silent fly-in under the cover run. You're going to have to do this from on high and be as accurate as possible. It's a very different bombing run to the ones that you've been training to do. Make a guts roll, please.
9.
9. On a 9, it's a hit. Choose 2 consequences. You can have damage to the target is not significant, and it's your fault. You fly through a storm of flak, take enemy fire. Second damage is my choice. You and your fellow airwoman are marked.
Good questions. And I have to choose 2, so it's...
Yes, you have to choose 2.
So I take the damage to targets is not significant, and it's my fault.
Okay.
And maybe we are marked too.
Okay. You're both marked. Please trigger a mark against your character sheets. So that's you and Anusha. Now, you can, if someone else wants to attack, navigator, wayfinders, you will get a +1 forward if you want to come in behind.
Yep, we're coming in to attack. Of course.
Okay, so you get a +1
You've got
forward
some
on
anger
the
to work
attack.
through, haven't you?
Yeah, I do have a bit of anger to work through. So
right.
Let's do this. +1. Oh, nice. That's 11. +1 is a 12.
Whoa! See?
Teenage
I've got
boy. Anger to work through.
Teenage
Giving you a thumbs up with my gloved hand.
Okay, so the target is lit up below you. The first round of bombs have at least illuminated the actual targets, you know, where the big fuel, supplies are held. You see them and you lift the plane and the bombs arc beautifully straight down into that fuel dump. And you see the entire fuel dump explode in
our
flame
payload
and fire. Now, you just
only
need to choose
choose
one
one.
consequence.
Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna say a plane in your section is damaged of the GM's choice.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the GM's going to roll a dice.
Okay.
No, you should have chosen.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you arc away from the plane, Oh, what marks did Zaika and Anusha take?
I choose call dangerous attention to yourself.
Right. And what about you, Anusha?
Tell us a story from home.
Oh, okay. So when you get back home, you're telling a story.
Yeah.
Okay. As the first plane, as you guys are flying away from the bombing run, you see behind you the second plane come in and just light up the sky. Unfortunately, in doing so, they illuminate your plane. It's now backlit, caught between the moon and the fire below, almost perfectly illuminated for German machine gun and flak fire. As it pummels your plane, you have taken damage as a result of the explosion and the flak fire. You see peppered rounds through the wings and through the fuselage of the plane.
Oh, not again.
Anusha, you can repair it. You can repair it. In fact, you've got two.
Yeah.
You brought some sticky tape with you.
Yeah. Can
When I
I?
say sticky tape, I mean cow gum and something.
Yeah,
Cow
that's
dung.
right.
Sheep
And
dung.
paint and sheep dung.
Can I? It's affecting us badly, or can I try to repair it?
So are you once again climbing out onto the wings of the plane while you're in air?
Yeah.
You're getting a wreck for this.
Yeah. It seems I have to join the circus instead.
Okay, I'm going to call this tempting fate
Sure, no problem.
because you're actually out on the wings of the plane trying to repair things. It's not really a repair roll. So roll plus guts.
I don't have guts, so can I use one of the holes?
You
Or-
can. Yep. You've.
Or
What
two?
would you like that to be? How is that helping you?
How can I get the plane to not to crash, or how can I get the plane home safely?
Okay, so you can. So it looks like some of the steering mechanism that runs from the front to the back of the plane that controls, the levers at the back, is damaged. So you'll need to repair those strings and wires. So you can take a +1 on your temp fate roll.
+1 and temp fate. Come on, baby. +1, so it's 12.
Okay. I was so going to have you fly hurled off the plane. Okay, so you're able. You do it. You just do it. You have the piece of wire. You tie the two pieces of wire together, and you string the plane together perfectly. You've repaired the plane in mid-flight. There is no. You don't have to roll a wheels down roll for the first time, and you don't take any enemy fire.
Take us home, Zaika.
Thank you. Very well done.
Okay. What do you want Anna and Oksana to do? Do you want them to come in behind and do a third attack run?
It's not necessary. It's just if there are any other targets they can hit.
Well, it's a large fuel dump and military base, so there's targets.
Either they try to break up the railroad or another fuel dump.
Okay, so you are sending them in.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, they get an 8 on their attack run,
Which means 2 consequences.
Yep. So what consequences do you want Anna and Oksana to take? Damage to the target is not significant, and it's their fault. They fly through a storm of flak. A plane in your section is damaged. They and their fellow airwoman are marked.
They are shooting right now, so they fly through a storm of flak, and a plane is damaged.
Okay, that sounds ominous. Let's see. Okay, so you see Anna and Oksana in their plane. They roll down to bomb another, a railway, or maybe even a train that's on the railway, that's meant to be shipping fuel, obviously, to some important points in the German attack. You've ordered them in to attack. You see the plane dive down towards the train, and then you realise
low-level ones are suicide.
You see that the train has actually got anti-aircraft guns mounted on all of the carriages, and you see Anna and Oksana's plane just hit by repeated flak fire. It dips and it curves, and then you see it spin down towards the ground. The last thing you hear is the screams of both women as the plane crashes into the ground just in front of the train and explodes in flame and fire as the bombs on the plane ignite.
Oh no!
The last thing you remember was your hand motion to say, do the attack as you wing your way towards safety and security, having seen the death of your two comrades. The planes. What's actually, yes, Zaika, what's your response to this moment of horror?
I just scream. No.
These are the first two people you've lost under your command. I mean, obviously you lost my PC, but they were a counter-revolutionary. They don't count.
Yeah.
Bourgeois.
So, all right. So the planes alone now, just the two of you, wing your way back to Trod Gornyaka, and land in perfect safety because there are no sheep on the field, and none of you have got any damage. But there's only two planes when you get to the ground, and Anna and Oksana, fellow members of your flight, don't make it back.
I try to make the tears stop before we land.
Okay, so you're trying to pull it up.
Yep. And
we should drink to their honor.
We should.
Okay. You get out of the planes and make your way across the open field. So Magi Alyena is there, obviously noting that there's only the two of you. She asks you, Zaika, Lieutenant Zaika, what happened? What happened to plane 137?
Can I interrupt?
You can.
Okay. So I put a hand on Zaika's shoulder and I said, it wasn't Zaika's fault. I mean, yes, she ordered them to make the third attack after we'd completed the mission, but they went too low. We were warned beforehand in the briefing not to go low, and they saw a train and they went low to attack it and flew right into fire. I mean, as I say, it's not Zaika's fault, and she's hurting enough as.
Okay, so Zaika, Sergeant Valya starts to tell this story. Did you want to intervene at all? Did you want to talk over Sergeant Valya at any point in that conversation?
Maybe I say that if we come back with bombs still on the planes, we have failed the mission. So that was what we should do.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think that sounds like a pretty decent reach out roll from you, Zaika.
Can I try to just try to interfere and maybe use my last hold?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is the
hold
how
does
can I help?
Yeah.
Yep.
Saying, Zaika, Major, this train had some serious weapon on it. Either 2 of our comrades or 1,000 of our comrades. They chose bravely, and the mission was complete.
Oh, okay.
I have to nod in admiration to that one. Again, my attempt to steal her future has backfired.
Has been roundly sent back to the keeper. So can I get a reach out roll from you, Zaika? But I think with a +2.
+2.
Yeah.
Good. 8.
Okay, so you can, either take it, have suffer no consequence, or make the problem go away. It's kind of the same thing. Look, I tell you what, for this one, let's just assume that it's a success, right? Like you've provided this very comprehensive and actually completely, on point response about, it's all about no bombs on the wings, and particularly like the line, it was either 2 of our comrades or 1,000. So yeah, I think we'll just it's a success. You managed to explain your way around without needing to roll. So the debrief is obviously quite shattering, but it was a success. The morning, however, is interrupted when Lieutenant Zaika, as you're leaving the tent, Paulina Gelman and Irina Politskaya are waiting for you as you leave the debriefing to talk to you about what's going on in your unit. It seems to not be very well run, and they're worried that perhaps there's, some evidence that you're not doing a very good job. So they want to take you off and have a very long conversation with you about this. The result of that conversation is you are demoted to sergeant.
Ooh, that's mean.
As you,
for all those. That's all, no consequences.
And because you've been marked, you've drawn attention multiple times. There's been a lot of concern about your care of the planes, about the troops. You're clearly not the right person to lead this unit. They do ask you who you think should be leading the unit, however.
Oh.
You reflect back on your crew.
It's a poison chalice.
Yes. I think I should lead, but
yes, well, it's exactly that sort of arrogance, that sort of misunderstanding of the importance of the proletariat and pulling together as a unit that's led your unit to the disastrous state that it is. Placing yourself above your comrades is exactly why we have the problem. I mean, it's not like your surname's Stalin, is it? So if you're unable to make a decision, we will make a decision for you. There's only one obvious answer. You suddenly realize the question about who you think should lead is far less about actually you selecting who should lead and far more about who you say you think should lead.
Yeah. Well, I trust Anusha with my life, so I select Anusha.
Anusha's like somewhere else going, no. Yes. Perhaps you can learn. Anusha has constantly displayed the sort of, behaviors that we respect in the army, and she's always seemed to be pulling together. She's always seemed to be working hard, not like that Sergeant Valya. And I mean, and now that we know the truth of Alyena, she's obviously too young. And I have and Paulina just goes, and I have my suspicions about Valya. We shall be investigating her.
No.
So yes, we think that Alyena Anusha should be the new lieutenant of the unit, and you, Sergeant Zaika Guziva, can count yourself lucky that all we're doing is this, and they take your lieutenant's pips off your shoulders and replace them with sergeant's pips and send you from the debriefing tent.
Yeah, I'm very pale when I walk out from the tent.
Does that mean I've stolen her future?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, she stole a future, really. You contribute. I don't know. Does contributing to stealing the
I
future
didn't roll a
count?
dice on it, so I'm entirely happy to have not stolen her
Yeah.
future. Circumstances done my job.
Zaika, you are escorted back to the tent. Alyena, you're summoned by the chief of staff, Anna. So you see Zaika come in, and she's pale and shaking. And as soon as she comes in, Paulina, the deputy politruk and morale officer, pops her head into the tent and says, "Alyena, Sergeant Alyena, come with me now."
Okay.
And you don't even get a chance to react before you're taken to the chief of staff Anna's tent. Chief of staff Anna says, "Sergeant Alyena,
Yes.
Amarova, your excellent work and constant pulling together, your contribution to the regiment, your willingness to work with your comrades to defeat the fascists has been noticed.
Without the
We
help
are
of my
pleased
comrades.
Indeed. Your behavior is the sort of behavior we need in our leaders. We need in our flight commanders more than ever. I'm happy to announce that you are in receipt of," and she pulls out these 2 lieutenant's pips and places them in your hands. Lieutenant Alyena Anusha Amarova, welcome to command of the 4th unit of the 588th Night Bomber Command. Night Bomber Regiment, sorry.
I'm honored, but what about Lieutenant Zaika? She's the reason I'm acting this way. She gave me strength and gave me power.
Sergeant Zaika Guzevna has understood that the lieutenant's role was beyond her current capabilities, and that further action as lieutenant would only lead the unit into risk and damage, and has willingly stepped down from the lieutenant's role. Paulina's nodding sagely on the side of this conversation.
Yeah.
Please understand, Lieutenant Alyena Omarova, this is not an honor to be rejected, but rather an honor to be embraced.
I will embrace it with my life until my
Excellent.
death.
She salutes you. I expect to see you at the briefing tonight. And
Yes.
please leave while I discuss other things with Deputy Politruk Paulina.
Yes, sure. Thank you. My honor.
I'm writing a letter during that time.
You're what?
I'm writing a letter to
You're writing
Marina,
a letter
to Comrade
to Marina.
Hager. Yeah. I'm telling her how the fully troops are not soldiers. They don't understand war and the cost of war and the sacrifices, and they do things just, well, to protect themselves, and they don't know what it is to be a pilot.
Okay, now
I don't
know that
Yep.
the Politroops are the censors.
I have to smuggle this letter out.
Right. Okay. If only you knew some person who was good at doing that sort of thing. Well, mind you, the question is whether you trust them or not.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think I trust anyone with this letter.
Okay. So how do you intend to smuggle the letter out?
I'm not sure.
Are you going to try and get like...
I think if there are some soldiers, some men leaving, leaving like supplies and stuff, I think I go talk to them and try to get them to.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think we'll just quickly do that then, and then we might have to call it. But I really feel like we need to do that. So you've got the letter, and you're going to go and find some of the men, and you're particularly talking about the soldiers who bring supplies to the airfield
that come and go all the time. So
yeah, okay. So you don't really know them, except in passing, or do you? Do you know one of them?
Who knows? Maybe. If there's someone who's good looking, charming. Maybe
okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's a number of men. There's quite an attractive. Oh my God! Really? Oleg. First class private Oleg Batkin.
The smart move would be to take one who's not as attractive, because this guy probably will have too many girls looking at and talking to him. So maybe I will look at some.
So I think we need an eyeball roll. You're looking to find just the right person.
6.
6 total.
I don't think what's eyeball is not guts.
No, it's skill.
Yeah, so 6.
Okay. Okay. You find a guy. He's not in any way the most attractive man. Have you actually chosen the least attractive man?
Not some
just run-of-the-mill guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maxim. Maxim Toropov. So Maxim Toropov, Sergeant Maxim Toropov, who's, a kind of somewhat older guy. He's probably in his 40s. He's constantly backwards and forwards. He drives one of the trucks that brings, trucks, Lend-Lease trucks. He drives one of the Lend-Lease trucks that brings in supplies to the airfield on an irregular basis whenever they can get through. Is there, and you are, what are you doing?
I walk up to him and try to small talk first, and then maybe hint that I have something I need to be delivered.
Okay. So I think that's going to be a reach out roll. Or possibly it's an act up role, actually. It's a really interesting question because it could be either. Because in a sense, you're acting up by sending the letter.
Yeah, it's against the rules, of course.
It is very much against the rules. Actually, yeah, let's make it an act up role.
And that's guts, I think.
Sure. I'll let you have guts.
Okay, I got an 8.
Okay. So you can make someone do what they want to do, but you can't ensure that you can only choose one. So I assume what you're doing with, well, question is, do you want to ensure there are no consequences for acting up? Or do you want to make sure that they do what you want them to do?
I want them to do what I want them to do.
Okay. All right. So, okay, so the letter has winged its way. Hold on, get me right. East via Maxim, Toropov, and who knows what consequences will flow from sending this letter to Marina. Now you've got her as she's taking an interest in your career, don't you?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you've sent the letter. As the letter leaves the base, you have that, that kind of deep sinking feeling. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that can get people lined up against a wall and shot. But in the rage that you had, what other choice did you have? I guess the other thing is, Alyena, you have marked that you're going to tell a story from home. Anusha, sorry, not Alyena,
Yeah.
sorry. Anusha, you've marked that you're going to tell a story from home.
Yes, I gathered the squadron
As the newly minted lieutenant?
as their friend, not
As
as
their
a
friend?
lieutenant. Yeah, I'm just not showing the badges. I'm just in my nightgown.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, and and I told them I've seen this strife destroy people before. During in my village, we had a great famine that took millions of people in my country. People turn when they were divided. They did horrible things, and they did not survive in the end. I've seen with it my own eyes. People turned against each other, people murdering each other, even people eating each other. I've did something that I am not very keen of, but what made me survive this catastrophe is unity that I had with my family. Oh, what left of them. We were together as one, and we survived. Not all of us, but at least some of us. Some of us sacrificed to others live. So if we turn on each other, nobody will survive. That I've seen it with my own eyes. So maybe after this war, we'll not talk to each other, but during this war, we are one. We have to continue as one, or die as one. That I will hope that I have sisters. I lost all my family during the famine. I lost my husband, my father. I lost my husband in the war, my 2 kids. Only a kid I have now, I don't know where he is. My only fate that he is still alive, but what I'm seeing is very, very minimal. And you are the only family that I have, and I want to keep continuing at that.
Making me cry.
Yeah, I'll give Anusha a big hug.
Oh.
Thank you, Zaika. It's
You are my sister.
I know what happened But I'm not. This is not my choice, you know. I was handed to.
But it was my
Eh,
choice.
Thank you for trusting me, but you are a better person. I cannot make the choices that you have, the difficult choices. This is the true leader that make difficult choices to get a great results in the end.
You will do just fine.
Thank you, Zaika.
This is
And I hope
the woman that was climbing out on top of her airplane while it was flying to fix it. And you say
Yeah.
you can't make difficult choices.
Yeah.
for me, but for the others, I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, so
Mm.
we'll remember this. I'm going to give +1 to the mission pool for the next roll off the back of that roll, off the back of that story, because I think that's warranted. So, did anyone get? Oh, hold on. What advance did you take for your mark for your move, Matt? Sorry, Valya, I should say.
For robbing,
Stealing someone's future.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether I qualified for a mark, but I will.
Not a
take
mark.
an
Sorry, it's not a mark, is it? It's an advance, isn't it?
I think so. When I steal a treasure possession, she is marked, and if the treasure possession is their lover or future, I get an advance.
Yeah, so the advance I'm referring to is the one when you did in Alyena's future.
I've stolen her future.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Okay, cool.
That is the same.
Oh God, I could be so evil with this character. Okay. To hell with death. When I would be marked, name a player character who is to be marked instead if I wish.
Okay, so you're ticking the personal.
To hell with death.
No, the harsh lessons in the advance.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, no. I'm forgetting how to do this. So advancement.
Because don't forget, you can actually increase a stat. I've just worked that out.
Right. Okay, that might be a good thing. So let me read through this. So okay, I can move west, which changes to a next station. I can add responsibility, which is an increasing rank. I can raise skill, ducks, or luck. Ooh. Wouldn't that be wicked if after my general troublemaking, I managed to get a bloody promotion out of it? That is
that would be.
Add the leftmost unawarded medal.
A medal for the defense of the Caucasus. Oh, no, hold on. That's not. Is that it?
Leftmost.
Oh, yeah,
so that it would be the Medal of Valor.
The Medal of Valor. So you're getting a medal. Do it. Do it.
I think that might be my reward for dropping that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's a medal. And now you have +1 to under medal.
Cool.
Which means you can act up and actually be a natural born Soviet woman and Soviet airwoman and get a bonus to your natural born Soviet airwoman roles when you act up.
Cool. I'm just trying to make that medal there. Medal of Valor. There we go. I'll take that one.
Nice. I love it.
I don't, obviously I'm very modest about it because I don't like being showed up. It just feels poetic. The one
but hold on.
After one of us flew out on got out on a plane and really deserves a medal.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
But you guys were the ones that actually successfully bombed the target. So later that day,
I can see Alyena's look.
That's right. So later that day, actually the start of the sort of the second half of the day, you're all summoned to the field where Major Alyena Bershokova summons you all there. She's got you all lined up. It's clearly an important ceremony. She says, for conspicuous valor and the right behaviors on the part of, of the Soviet Socialist Republic, and for helping us ferret out counter-revolutionaries and stopping malingering, I call forth Sergeant Valya Malinskaya to receive this medal, and she's got this medal ready. Sergeant Valya, you are called forward. What do you do? It's in the middle of the field. There's everyone looking at you.
As a player, I'm grinning, but Sergeant Valya really likes to be in the background. Really doesn't want to be called out. So, with embarrassed glances to Zaika and Alyena, she kind of shuffles out, stooping low and saying, I'm only serving the people. I'm only serving the people, Major.
And it's exactly that sort of behavior that makes you even more due for this medal. This is fan. I want all of you to pay attention to Sergeant Valya Malinskaya going forward. She represents the sorts of behaviors that this unit needs to display. Pay attention to her wherever she goes. She is the paragon of her unit. And at that point, I
wear a traditional headscarf and I put it down.
And
I kind of do a weak salute, but with my head really low down. I really don't want people seeing my face as I get this medal, and I don't want the look that Alyena is giving me.
Yeah, it's like the dirtiest glare.
It's like, all right, and the medal is placed across your chest and salutes you as you receive it, and then return to ranks, Sergeant Valya Malinskaya, holder of the Medal of Valor.
Thank you. I don't make a speech.
You are shuffled back to the back of the group. Okay, so hello, Alyena. Alyena, sorry, and your head, the cat's head.
Thanks for that.
So the unit dissolves away, and various things are going on. So let's just recap. So there's a vicious rumor spreading that Sergeant Valya is not all that she appears. Former Lieutenant Zaika has sent a letter to Marina Roskova complaining about the behavior of the Politruks and the demotion that they've received, which they feel is completely unwarranted. Lieutenant Alia Anushka Omarova has actually tried to pull the unit together through this great story and actually
and that's making me feel particularly bad. I just want to say that.
Yeah. You're not without a soul.
No.
And Sergeant Alyena Voropaeva is scuttling around from unit to unit like an undermining 15-year-old should. Basically doing playground.
16 as far as the papers are concerned.
16 as far as the papers are concerned. Doing the sort of thing that teenagers do when they want to undermine, people they don't like.
Yes. And I will just say right now, I've just written a note about what I plan to do to you next session.
Oi.
Oh, thank you.
Take a screenshot from YouTube and zoom in.
Yeah.
Now, I'll just flag. This is probably going slower than maybe it's meant to. I don't know how fast it's meant to go. But irrespective, what we might do next session, or what we might do, I'll just put this up as a suggestion. Maybe we just do like 2 missions per, maybe we do 2 sessions per post. That's what I'm going to suggest. So we do 2 sessions per post, and that lands us wherever we land, and then we move on to the next post so that everyone gets a chance to play in GM and all of that sort of stuff. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're obviously going slower than the game expects, which probably is because we're playing it out too much. But either way, it's good fun. So,
Or are we playing it out just the right amount?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think that's where I'm going to call it because it's about 7:20 a.m. my time, and assumably about 10:20, give or take, your time. I don't know what time it is in the UK.
It is in the UK. It's 10:20, and it's 40 minutes to midnight in Sweden, isn't it, John?
Yeah, so definitely time to call it then.
Same as John here.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and in Egypt,
and in Cairo. Yeah. Okay, well,
I have to say, I am loving this Swedish, English, Australian, Egyptian. This is just a fabulous conversation.
Yeah.
That's great fun. So on that note, we will. Oh, and he's got his effect thing. Oh,
Nice.
This is the dice that killed. All right. So same bat channel, same bat time in a fortnight. Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, everybody, and thanks everybody who's watching. Who I don't think was actually all that many today, but never mind.